Welcome to the Leading Owls podcast, brought to you by Rice University's Doerr Institute for New Leaders. Each week, we bring you inspiring stories and practical tips from successful student leaders, faculty, and staff, along with leadership experts and coaches that will help guide you in your own leadership journey.
On this episode of the Leading Owls podcast, we're joined by Maria, a wonderful freshman from Lovett who became one of Lovett's new student representatives, tackling key important issues such as education and technology across campus. Maria has made an impact at Lovett College through different committees and hopes to inspire other first-year students to follow in her footsteps.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Leading Owls podcast. I'm your host, Hong Lin, and I'm joined by a very special host for today's episode, Bernie, who will be joining us later in the episode, and our wonderful guest, Maria. Do you want to say hi to the audience?
Hello, everyone.
Before we jump straight in, would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners?
I'm Maria Barajas, a freshman at Lovett. I was invited to be able to take part of this podcast, and I'm very honored with the opportunity.
Perfect. So you are a new student representative for Lovett in Student Association. What motivated you to jump into leadership so early on into your first year?
I think what interested me the most about being an NSR for the Student Association, I went to the first Senate of the year at Hondren, and it immediately caught my attention because I realized what they were doing impacted the broad student body. And I really like being able to work towards a common purpose, towards improving student quality of life, as well as ensuring their academics, they have the proper resources available to them, as well as a pathway. And I feel like the Student Association is my leeway to be able to do that and help students across Rice. And that's the reason I joined as an NSR.
That's nice. Is there something that you're looking forward to with the Student Association?
I'm mostly looking forward currently with my NSR project that I'm working on. I think it's going to be a year-long project or even more because it's quite a process that we're going through because I'm partnered with someone else. But I think overall, the project we're working on is something that I'm very passionate about, especially for FGLI students and low-income students. I think it's the best way we can help them, especially ensuring that academic resources are accessible to them. That's an important value for my life. And I just think that hopefully that my project is able to help so many students across campus.
So kind of going back on Lovett here. So what's a story or a moment for you really that captures the personality of Lovett?
One thing I will say is that OWEEK is definitely something that Lovett is very strong on because I feel the first couple of days, it's awkward meeting new people. But towards the end, you have a huge community, even just your OWEEK family, but expanding on. I'm so glad I'm at Lovett just because the community is so big. I've been able to meet so many of the freshmen as well as the upperclassmen, and I just find it a home to myself and with a support system overall.
Oh, that's sweet. So your projects that you were mentioning about, so you've been working on making educational resources more accessible here at Rice. So what kind of sparks that idea and what kind of change that you want to hope it creates?
This idea was kind of sparked during OWEEK and as well as while I was doing course registration and with my OWEEK father. We were talking about how classes work. And one thing that I was kind of shocked about was Cengage WebAssign, how expensive it is overall. And I was just wow, so why are we making this something students have to have a burden on? And as I went through it, I realized that I feel like students shouldn't have this financial burden. And I realized the AOP office is something they can lean on, but also the AOP office has a high number of amounts of requests, especially at the start of the semester with WebAssign. And I just want to make sure the transition is better for students and as well have a platform that's more accessible to students. So I'm working towards being able to ensure that there's a resource that instead of WebAssign or maybe a partnership with WebAssign, I'm still deciding with my partner what we want to go through, that it's more affordable and as well accessible to students. I found some students agree the style of questions aren't applicable to the course material and the content and the way the class is styled. So I think finding something that's more applicable towards how Rice classes are structured is way better, especially academically and allowing students to be prepared for midterms and exams coming up.
So I know you kind of gone into the logistics and the technical side of it here, but can you share a moment when you saw that project started to make a real difference?
I think when I had my first meeting, two meetings. The first meeting with the OIT department, when I was talking with the person in charge of OIT, and they looked very hopeful towards the project as well, optimistic. And it felt something that we have potential to be able to do this. And it's something that us as Rice students have the potential to work on. And I feel like that was a good moment to realize that overall, this is a project that I can possibly work towards and allow for students to get so much more benefit out of it and ensure that students, no matter what income bracket they come from, are able to have access to academic resources that are so important to excel here at Rice. And as well as the second meeting, we met with the other platform we're considering towards transitioning instead of WebAssign. And they looked very positive towards our project and as well as like the feedback we were giving and wanted as well to improve the quality of student resources here at Rice. And I think overall, this is such an important project for me, especially as a freshman. And I hope this will help like so many students at Rice.
Nice. So kind of stepping back a little bit here. So what's a decision that you've made that you're most proud of that kind of taught you the most?
I attended the Catalyst Quality Decision Making, and I feel like that was a very insightful experience because it allowed me to actually realize, like, make decisions of how my time is spent accurately and that aligns with my values and goals. And that was very insightful towards me, and as well as be able to, like, know what I want to do here at Rice and how I want to be able to use my time effectively to ensure I do well academically, but as well as be able to take part on the projects I have and as well as all the groups I'm a part of.
Nice. So kind of looking back, would you do anything differently?
Academically, maybe consider which classes I need to spend more time on, and maybe some of them didn't need as much time, and
Of course.
maybe they were kind of a lost cause, but other than that, I think so far my experience of Rice has been very positive.
Nice. That's great to hear. So can you tell me a time where something that didn't go as planned in one of your roles and how did you handle it and what did you learn from it?
I've had experience working in groups, but because Rice has so many diverse perspectives, I've realized that being able to acknowledge all the perspectives in the room is something so important because it's very insightful. Sometimes I think my idea might be good, but then I realize, oh, someone had like a twist to it or something new, and I didn't realize that in my mind. And I think being able to acknowledge whenever this happens is a good thing that's overall been happening. And I think that it's a good thing to be able to have as a skill. And I really am so excited to see other insights from everyone on campus because I know everyone has their own perspectives and ideas. And ultimately, like, I feel like I can gain so much knowledge from everyone here at Rice.
Of course. What's been one of your toughest situations that you've faced so far at Rice?
My toughest situation here at Rice is creating a proper balance because having a social life with your friends and as well academically and extracurriculars, sometimes you want to do everything at the same time.
Yep.
And that's not possible. There's only 24 hours of a day. And I think realizing what things are important in your life, especially like us freshmen, because we want to do everything, try everything because it's all new to us. But it's also realizing we need to take baby steps since it's our first semester and understand we can take moments to ourselves and take breaks and understand what to prioritize in our life, especially with academics going on and extracurriculars we want to be involved in. I think just taking a step back is very important to ensure like I balance everything that's going on in my life.
Of course. So can you tell who or what helped you navigate those challenges?
A lot of like my mentors currently have been upperclassmen and as well as like staff that I've been getting along with. They're very insightful in telling me how to be able to navigate all the social scene as well as the academics and everything going on extracurricularly. And they've told me how to prioritize everything and as well as create a proper balance and ensure that I spend time with my friends, but as well focus my time academically, as well as like ensuring that I have proper time in my projects. I would also say like the SSI is a good resource on campus to help you being able to organize your time. It's very important to at least reach out to them at least once a semester. I would say overall, it's very helpful to understand that you are just a person and as much as you want to do everything, there's a limit.
Yeah, of course. So you've mentioned that you're involved in so many different committees across like different areas from like health, technology to like community events. So how do you decide which opportunities to say yes to?
I think overall, it's whatever's aligning at the moment, because I know that'll change later on in the 4 years. But currently with all the committees and commissions and groups I'm a part of, they're what I want to prioritize my freshman year especially and ensure that I have some sort of involvement. And with technology, it aligns more with my project for student association. And with other things, I think they're just like my own personal groups I want to be a part of to be able to have like some space to be able to understand everything that I want to be a part of.
Yeah. So kind of on the flip side here, has saying no ever been an important leadership lesson for you?
Yeah, I would say there have been other organizations that I've considered and as well as like thought I would be wanting to take part of. But I've also realized that they might not align with how I see my first semester going. And there's always the next 3 years to join. And I have so much time to decide if I want to take part of that and whatnot. I realized that pretty early on. So I haven't, whenever I say no to things, stressed about it too much. But I usually know what to prioritize and what to move away from, especially considering that I want to use my time effectively.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So you said you worked in a lot of like collaborative spaces. So what have you learned about like building trust and teamwork amongst people with like various different backgrounds?
Everyone at Rice has their own perspectives, and I'm very grateful for being in a room with so many smart people. And it's always great to have insight. And sometimes you have to learn that collaboration and finding common ground is needed in teamwork spaces and trusting the process. Like, there might be mistakes along the way, but ultimately we all want to go to the same goal, and we're going to get there at some point, one way or the other. So I think that's important to acknowledge when you're with a group of teammates, that everyone has the same goal in mind. And overall, you need to trust each other to be able to get there, because otherwise it's going to fall apart.
Mm-hmm. So is there a moment when you saw like a team really come together in an unexpected way, whether you took part of it or you saw it yourself?
It's more of like the Senators and Student Association, whenever they got together towards the printing credit. While there were concerns at the start on how exactly the funds were going to be allocated and everything, it at the end of the day got done, since today the $5 printing credit was dropped. And I think overall everyone there had the same goal to provide some sort of printing credit to students. And I think that's an important mission to acknowledge, that everyone has the same goal in mind and are trying to work together. No matter what differences we may have, we want to get there at some point.
So you're also on the Lovett Fun Friday committee. What's one event or tradition that you think truly brings the Lovett community together?
So far, I haven't planned too many Fun Fridays, but one thing I've noticed is that food brings everyone together. Just seeing everyone interact and converse during this time is so important, because it's just a time to take a break from everything that's going on, the chaos of our lives, and just realize we're just college students and just getting along. And just taking a time to take a breather, and as well as like play volleyball and whatever is planned on Fun Friday, because it depends on what's the plan. But I think overall for Lovett, it's just a time to take a break and a breather.
Yeah, of course. So I think you kind of mentioned about taking a breather, but why do you think small traditions like these matter so much for student life?
As much as like they may seem small, I think it's like these small moments that we connect the most, because we're so busy. And even if we have like more time together, these small moments are just a time to breathe and get along and just realize that we've been all busy and we finally have some time to get together and just catch up on what's been going on in our lives. I think these moments are just genuine moments around Lovett's years.
Oh, that's so sweet. So now we're going to go into our final main section here. When you think about your kind of impact you want to leave at Rice, what comes to mind?
My biggest impact is being able to ensure that students have access to everything they need at Rice and make their college experience as easy as possible, because there's so many concerns throughout college that we have to face. And I want ultimately that whatever concerns students have to be as light as possible, to be able to focus on their career goals, academic goals, whatever it may be. Because I overall want to ensure everyone has everything they need to be able to excel and move on in life and flourish.
Yeah. So what does the word legacy mean to you in this stage of process of your college journey?
I guess legacy is just like everything we've done throughout our time, the people we've met, the people we've impacted, the small projects, classes we've taken, every small goal and projects we've done together is a legacy. I would say everyone has their own legacy at Rice, and it's everyone's unique legacy overall, because everyone has a meaning to each other. And I think that's such an important thing, because it allows us to each have our own specific importance here at Rice, because we're here for a reason. And I think it's important to be able to know that no matter how small our feat is or big, it's still part of our legacy and matters at the end of the day.
Oh, that's so sweet. What kind of leader do you hope to grow into over the next few years?
I hope to be able to be a leader that people can depend on. If there's a concern or anything they have coming up, they can just come up to me and see in the way I can help. Because even if I'm a stranger to you, I want to see a way that I can help you be able to facilitate your way of living in Rice. If it's something that is towards your classes or just something towards like more technical, I just hope to be able to like help you in being able to ensure that you have the proper resources, or if you need like a listening ear, just be there for students, because I think overall being at Rice, it's important to take a break and as well as know that there's people here as a support system and are wanting to see you excel no matter the situation.
Of course. So last question here. So what advice would you give to other first-year students who wants to get involved but don't know where to start?
Hear advice from your upperclassmen. They're very insightful. They have a lot of information about what clubs and organizations to get involved in, and as well as how to be able to manage everything. Also, just go to things. Go to panels, events, info sessions. Just try out things. And if you don't like it, don't do it. But if you find something you're passionate about there in that moment, find a way to get involved, no matter how small or big. The important thing is you're involved and are able to help people and as well as accomplish whatever is important to you in that moment. And I think that's something that I would say for a lot of freshmen, to just try out new things and listen to other people's feedback about it.
I know that I said that was the final question, but I also have a follow-up. So it's like, what's something that you've learned about leadership that's most surprised you?
That everyone here is so excited to be able to find a way to help. And that's something that's so alleviating, because I find that when Rice students get together, it's a room filled with people that want to be able to excel, and all of us have a leader inside of us. And whenever it's time to show it, a lot of Rice students do well at ensuring that their leadership is shown throughout whatever they're trying to accomplish. And I think it's so important that all of our leaderships come together and cooperate to ensure that we have a common mission and accomplish it in an effective manner.
Are you ready to do the rapid fire questions?
Go ahead.
What's your favorite thing about Lovett?
The community.
One word to describe your experience at Rice.
Busy.
Your go-to spot at Rice.
5th floor, O'Connor.
Perfect. Okay, what's the best meal that you had at Siebel?
The tomato soup and grilled cheese.
Ooh, sounds delicious. If there's one thing that you want to change about campus life, what would it be?
No scooters.
So you mean like electric or like the regular scooters, or just
more the electric ones? Like, obviously I understand if there's like other purposes for the scooters, but if you're just getting to class, it's
okay. Got it. Okay, sounds good. And then last but not least, your go-to drink at Chow's.
The mango smoothie with tahini.
Oh, I should go try that. That actually does sound really good. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast here. It was so much fun asking you all these questions and getting to know more about you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank y'all. And thank you for the listeners to listen to this podcast as well. I hope to see y'all next time for another great session of the Leading Owls podcast.
Thank you for joining us for the Leading Owls podcast. We will be back next week with more leadership journeys and tips to share. New episodes release each Wednesday. For more information on the Doerr Institute for New Leaders and our free leader development programs for Rice students, please visit doerr.rice.edu.